Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cardfight Vanguard video for you guys today. So today's video, we're going to be looking at the new cards for Solrairon Masques. So last week we had two new mask units revealed, which was Solrairon and Gandiva. I'm actually really excited for Gandiva, but I saw Solrairon's card art and he looks so cool. You know, we have to try him out. I've always liked the Solrairon deck, but it's obviously been pretty underwhelming. So now we're here to check out the new support and see how well the deck performs. So I'm going to talk about the 4 new cards that we got announced, and then we'll go look at the build that I built on stream with my stream, and then we will jump into a game and show you what the deck does. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and check it out. All right, so 4 cards. So we got a new grade 1, Argaon. You know how they are with the dogs. Auto back row rear guard once per turn. When your Vanguard with Solrairon and its card name attacks, if you have a Dragon Tree marker in the same column as this unit, stand this unit. It's basically because of the way Solrairon Masques works. He calls out units during the battle phase, so this will then restand, so you can use it as an extra boost. I'm not the biggest fan of this card, but I see what it's there for. Dragon Tree Branch Digui. This is one of the new Dragon Tree cards. There's 2 of them. This one is interesting. When this unit is placed on rear guard, other than during the battle phase, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Solrairon or Gryffogila in its card name, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Solrairon in its card name or 1 Mask of Hydrogram from among them, discard it and shuffle your deck. Look at the top card of your deck, put it to the top or bottom of your deck. This is interesting if you're really going for Solrairon Masques skill, because you can get rid of extra copies of original Solrairon, so that way you can keep on using his second skill. Because like every other mask unit, Solrairon has a skill that requires you to remove a copy of original Solrairon from either the hand, soul, or drop to use the skill. Why this has Gryffogila on it, I'm not sure, because in a Gryffogila deck, the only card you would get rid of is Mask of Hydrogram, which a lot of times you don't want to, because Mask of Hydrogram helps you get into your Dragon Tree rearguards, so, or other copies of Gryffogila. So I'm not 100% sure on that one in a Gryffogila deck. This card though, this card's insanity. When this unit is placed on rearguard, Energy Blast 3, search your deck for up to 1 Mask of Hydrogram, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Between this card and Solrairon, the deck does Energy Blast a decent amount, so we're actually not going to be using Energy Cyclist. You'll see when we show off the build. Act rearguard. Counterblast 1, bind this unit, choose up to 1 rearguard without any Dragon Tree markers, put a Dragon Tree marker on it, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Masks or Gryffogila in its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. When you would look at the deck by this ability, if your bind zone has 1 or less cards with the same name as this card, look at all cards instead of the top 7. This second effect is nutty. So it's a Counterblast 1, bind this unit, and you basically get to search your entire deck for any mask card. It says top 7, but it's only top 7 if you have already done it twice, because it's 1 or less of him in the bind zone, and you just get to check the whole deck. So yeah, I lied. You only get to search the first time, I think. Why did this? It's a little confusing the way it's worded. I'm gonna have to double check on that, because it says when you would look at the deck by this ability, if your bind zone has 1 or less cards. Well, the cost is to Counterblast 1 and bind this unit. So I think you'd only get to search the deck the first time, and then after that it's the top 7, which is still great. Top 7's a nice hefty amount of cards to search, and you get to get any card with Mask, so you get to get any of the Dragon, any of the copies of Solrairon, Mask of Hydrogram, or if it's in a Gryffogila deck, Gryffogila, which is great for getting, you know, your grade 11. And because of the Gryffogila token, you know, you need copies of Gryffogila. And now lastly, we have himself, Great Sage of Scale, Solrairon Masques. Continuous, this card can only be written from a grade 3 with Solrairon in its card name, so you have to have OG Solrairon in order to ride this card. You can't put this in the ride deck, nothing like that. Act Vanguard, once per turn, Energy Blast 3, reveal a normal unit from your hand, draw a card, put the card revealed for this cost on top of the deck. This is awesome because original Solrairon had a problem with needing to stack the deck with a different effect in order to be able to actually play. So he depended heavily on his rear guards, whereas this one is pretty self-sufficient. His second skill, Act Vanguard, once per turn, remove a card with Solrairon in its different card name from your hand, soul, or drop. You declare either normal unit or trigger unit, reveal the top card of your deck. If you reveal the card type you declared, This unit gets auto once per turn. When a unit placed by this unit's ability attacks this turn until the end of that turn, increase or decrease that unit's drive to 1 and perform drive checks. Basically, it combos with the third skill. Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to the same number of cards as the number of your Dragon Tree markers from among them, call them to rearguard, and put the rest to the top or bottom of the deck in any order. So, downside of this card, you need to play Dragon Tree support, because you need to be able to make Dragon Tree markers. He can't make Dragon Tree markers on his own. That kind of sucks. But once you have 2 Dragon Tree markers, you're basically guaranteed 5 attacks a turn. But it checks top 3, calls 2 to 3 dudes, depending on how many Dragon Tree markers you have. 1 to 3. And whatever you have left, you can put top or bottom of the deck, so you can actually stack the deck as well. And it plays into the his second skill, because if you remove a Solrairon, when you call one of those cards out, you can choose to give one of them a drive check, which that now lets you do 3 drives a turn without getting triple drive. So it's a pretty interesting skill. But these are the 4 new cards we got announced. Now I'm going to show you guys the deck that we built on stream last night. All right, so this is the build we came up with last night. I know it looks a little weird, but I'll explain the card choices real quick. So ride line, obviously star doesn't matter. We went with the Solrairon ride line because it's actually pretty cool what it does, though you could easily slide in the Alden ride line and not feel bad about it. When this unit is rode on by Sage Robust Storgaon, the grade 2, you declare either normal unit or trigger unit, reveal the top card of your deck, put it into your hand. If you reveal the card type you declared, if you did not put it into your hand, put the revealed card into your soul or the top of the deck. So basically, with that skill, when you ride grade 2, you're always going to call a normal unit. Either you get a normal unit to hand, or you're going to see that you have a trigger and you're going to stack it. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name, choose up to 1 normal unit from your hand, reveal it. If you reveal the card, draw a card and put the revealed card on top of the deck. I honestly forget to use that skill because of the way the deck plays, but that could be nice. Alright, Sage Robust Storgron. This one's the better one. When this unit is ruled upon by Solrairon in its card name, choose a Sage of Elixir Eliron, the grade 1, from your soul, call that unit and this card to rearguard, so you get both. And this one, when a normal unit is revealed by the ability of your Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name, this unit gets, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, retire this unit, countercharge 1. Your first grade 3 turn is going to counterblast a lot. This deck does counterblast a lot, but it also countercharges a lot, so it's pretty nice. We have OG Solrairon, but we will never use this skill unless we absolutely have no choice. We have to basically brick to play OG Solrairon. But I'll talk about OG Solrairon real quick. Auto Vanguard at the beginning of your battle phase, Soul Blast 1, you declare either normal unit or trigger unit and reveal the top card of your deck. If you reveal the card type you declared, all of your units get 5k until end of turn. It gets continuous skill. So anything new card you call also gain the 5k. And then Auto Vanguard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up a card from among them, call it to rearguard or discard it, and put the rest to the top or bottom of your deck. You get to call a dude for an extra attack, and you get to stack potentially a trigger. It wasn't a bad card, but he's just not self-sufficient, which was his biggest problem. Now, first weird thing you'll notice, especially for a Masques deck, we're only playing 1 copy of Solrairon. When we get to the end, I'll explain. Trigger lineup. The deck has a decent amount of draw power, so we ended up going with front triggers. So we actually have some extra defense. Our crits, red OT, because the whole point of the deck is to call out during the battle phase. You guys know my stance on that. If you're already calling out a board during the battle phase, the red OT is just the best. Purple OT is great because it would heal a damage, but it calls a new dude. You're already replacing your front row, especially since you're going to be replacing your entire front row. So it's like, cool, you're going to use an OT to call a booster. You're better off getting one to use one of the rear guards that's already standing to be able to swing twice 100 million. It's just a better situation. You could maybe run yellow if you really want to be able to retire, but what's the point? And then I've never really liked the Keter Sanctuary OT. Though, I mean, if you call 2 grade 3s off of it, I guess that'd be cool, because if you call 2 grade 3s off of Solrairon Masques, now you get 6 drive checks. But the deck already gets pretty close to decking out sometimes. RPGs, Elementary Sanctitude. We're still running Selgaon because A, It's a very powerful early game booster. We're playing a mask deck, so in most cases we're going to use Mask of Hydreigon, which will make it so Solrairon is live. And unless we're playing against a deck that makes a board and keeps a board, we're always going to have more rear guards than our opponent, because this deck doesn't get rid of its own rear guards like some other Keter Sanctuary decks do. Now we have our superior call ability. The only problem I have with both of these cards is the fact that they're locked behind having a Solrairon Vanguard, so they don't facilitate the early game, but they help us really get into our combo pieces. When this unit is placed on rearguard, Academic of Endeavor FO. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 grade of Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name, counterblast 1 of the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 grade 3 or less unit cards from among them, call them to rearguard, shuffle the deck. If you call 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, reveal it, and put it on top of your deck if it is a normal unit, and discard it if not. So this guy kind of does everything. Check top 5, call up to 2 dudes. If you called 2 dudes, so you can call 1 just for the counterblast 1. But if you call 2, you have to stack the deck with a normal unit or discard a card. This thing's nuts. This thing's been his best support card since forever. I decided to go with this one, though, mostly because I couldn't find a decent beater to replace it. There was another card that did something similar, but we went with Sagely Dragon Wisdom Claw. When it's placed on the rearguard from the deck, it gains 5k. So if you call it with Solrairon skill, it comes in at 15k. That's fine. When it's placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name, look at the top card of your deck, put it to the top or bottom of the deck. That is free. So you could just get an extra stack. And then counterblast 1, reveal the top card of your deck. You may call it to an open rearguard circle if it is a unit card. If you do not call a card, put it to the soul. This guy helps you dig for pieces, can help you build a board. The other card we were talking about playing was Sacroscurrent Dragon, which does something similar. When it's placed on the rearguard by your card's ability, it gains 5k until end of turn. And if it was placed from the deck, you can Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and it gets boost. Not a bad card. They're both okay options, but at least this one can be played from hand and still do something. That's why I decided to go with this one. Now, the Dragon Tree cards. This is important. Now, the Dragon Tree cards. This is important. Dragon Tree Reds Gala Discatch. So when this unit is placed on rearguard, you counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rearguards without a Dragon Tree marker, you put a Dragon Tree marker on it, and you search your deck for 1 Mask of Hydreigon, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. This is important. The reason we're running this is because only running the Pegasus is not enough. You need to be able to get Dragon Tree markers and Mask of Hydreigon as fast as possible. Mask of Hydreigon enables your Persona Rod. If you're going second, going first, it'll let you turn immediately into Mask, which you want to for the extra 5 attacks. And getting the Dragon Tree marker is also really important because you want to get at least 2 so that you can get your 5 attacks. And because once you have your 5 attacks, it's consistent every single turn. This is in fact Solrairon's best card. Academic of Atomization Lectures. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked if a normal unit was revealed by the ability of your Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name. Put this unit in soul, draw a card. Soul support, countercharge support. This deck does use a lot of resources, so you do got to be careful with how you use your resources. I mean, you're riding on literally technically Soul Blast too to call 2 dudes. So getting extra cards in Soul can sometimes be important, especially when you have a few cards that do Soul Blast. Countercharge, same thing. Countercharge is important because this deck does counterblast a lot. And if you call this off of Solrairon skill, you get to draw a card. The thing I like about this is that it doesn't need to be called by Solrairon skill to get its skill. It just needs that for the draw. His normal skill is just if he was there when a normal unit was revealed. Also, it's when he's called from deck. So if you call him with like the grade 1 or the grade 2, his effects to draw still is live, which is cool. It doesn't have to be specifically by Solrairon. We already talked about the Pegasus. I already told you guys why this is good. Gets you basically everything you need, and it searches the deck. So, Mask of Hydreigon. Look at top 5. Choose a card with Dragon Tree or Mask in its card name. From among them, reveal it. Put it into your hand, so it can get you your Mask. It can get you your Dragon Trees. So this is Act Drop. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard without Masks in its card name, reveal a grade 3 with Mask in its card name from hand, and ride that card for this card revealed for this cost as stand. If you rogue, put this into the soul. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and you do not Persona Ride this turn, you activate Persona Ride. That second effect is disgusting, and it's made me hate going into mass decks forever. All right, Bracing Angel Ladder. So the only real weakness we potentially saw with this deck is it might succumb to heavy board wipe. If a deck can wipe their board every single turn, forcing them to keep calling from hand and keep replacing new units, it could be a problem. I haven't really gone against a heavy retire deck yet, but between Varga and Diva and some other decks that are out there, it's looking like we're going to be in a pretty retire heavy format. So that's Angel Ladder. And then we have our lastly is our Mate and Beat Stick, Academic of Chronicling Raiton. What a name. If this unit attacks, if a normal unit was revealed by the ability of your Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name, you may have this unit gain 10,000 power until the end of that battle. If you do, put this unit into the soul and at the end of the battle. And then it has a soul effect, which I gotta remember to do that because I kept forgetting this one when I was testing last night. Act Soul. If you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Solrairon in its card name, bind this card, choose a normal unit without Sentinel from your drop and put it to the top of your deck. If you use Solrairon skills to stack the deck, you can actually potentially stack your top two to be able to get a heavier set of attacks off of Solrairon without messing with your trigger lineup. So it's pretty dope. And then we're playing 4 copies of Solrairon Masques because obviously our Persona rides. And we want to see them. Now, real quick before we jump into a game, talking about why we're playing 1 copy of OG Solrairon is because you do not need to have multiple copies for the deck to function. Sub-mass decks, if you don't see the other copies of the OG version of their Grade 3, the deck just doesn't work. Or it forces you to play really weird and not the way the deck wants to play. That is not the case with Solrairon Masques. This card does not need its OG copy. I tried it with 4 copies of the OG and with the 1 copy in the ride deck. The extra drive check on the rear guard is nice, but 100% not needed. So one of my viewers made a good little joke that it basically turns Solrairon Masques second skill into a pseudo divine skill. Like, cool, you're going for the kill. Cool, you get an extra drive check, you might potentially get a crit. But you do not need it every turn. The deck pluses up plenty. And while the extra trigger can put a little bit of extra pressure, it does take away from what you can fit in the deck because now you're playing a bunch of dead Grade 3s. So this is the build we went with. You guys like it, but we're gonna go jump into a game so you guys can see what it does. All right, guys, we got a game and it looks like we're going second. So let's see what we get for. That's a good hand. Matter of fact, with the horse, we don't even need the mask because it searches the mask. So we're actually gonna send this back to deck, this back to deck, and that back to deck. That's okay. I probably could have kept the Selgay on, but I got greedy. And it looks like we're up against Razel. That's great. Actually, no, it's a mirror match. It happens every time there's new cards revealed. So here we go. Our hand is bonkers. I actually want to discard the over trigger. That's how good this hand is. We can live without the Grade 1. We already have exactly what we want to call. So this is funny. So we get our 3 energy. And we'll just go straight to battle phase. Yeah. Because they're not going to guard the first attack. They never do. We'll save this Algeon for turn 2. I ideally want to take 2 damage here. So that way we can get all of our Dragon Trees set up. But we'll see what happens. So he's going to call a normal unit. Yep, he gets to add the normal unit to hand. I don't really like that card. Now I have 2 options here. I can take the damage. So that way I can start searching my masks, or I can wait till turn 3 to do that. Okay, so he's already got a Dragon Tree marker. That's fine. I guess now we'll definitely take the damage. So no guard. All right, 1 damage for me. All right. Now we draw. Again, our hand is really good. I guess we'll get rid of the Grade 1 again. We're gonna call normal unit for the top card. We're gonna reveal it. Boom. Get that to our hand. Main phase. We're going to call the Pegasus. Skill. Energy Blast 3. Search our Mask of Hydrogum. Shuffle. And then skill. Counterblast 1. Bind. Look at our mask. The fact that it just straight searches it is just so good. And I forgot to get the Dragon Tree marker. I do that every time. There we go. So now that's fine. And then we will call and call. And then this gains 5k because we have more rear guards than our opponent. So battle phase, we're going to swing. Damn, that grade 1 just wants to be in our hand. I'm actually very happy I played the Solrairon. All right, and then Solrairon skill. Top 2. Oh, we're grabbing that PG for sure. And then we bottom deck the trigger. And we're good to go. That was a nice productive turn. But now, depending how explosive his turn is, it might be a little bit tough. So now he's using the grade 1 skill to put a normal unit on top of the deck and draw a card. All right, now he gets full combo now. So he's gonna Energy Blast 3, search Mask of Hydrogum. The only downside is he's kind of hurting for counterblast. Well, not really. Thankfully, they made Solrairon Masques first skill and energy cost, not a counterblast cost. And now I guess since he's searching the deck for, yeah. So now I get to go into full combo. We have a little more advantage, but we'll see what happens here. He did it right too. He thinned out the deck first, then played Mask of Hydrogum, and got another copy. So his Persona Rise live for next turn. Our turn's gonna be a little more aggressive because we get Persona Ride right on grade 3, but they definitely made this deck able to play going first or going second, which I like. Yep, and now he's going straight into masks. This is one of the reasons I say you don't really need the Solrairon. Like, cool, he's gonna get a drive check, but it doesn't facilitate your gameplay at all to have extra copies. Gonna draw. All right, so you guys countercharge her. And now this is the thing. He used 1 counterblast this turn, and now he's going to countercharge 2 because of the way the deck plays. Now, is he going to call 2 more units to get 5 attacks? He's not. Okay, so he's getting a 4 attack turn. That's fine. We don't care about that. We're gonna replace it anyway. Now he pops himself off, countercharges because he revealed a normal unit off the top. Now where he puts the cards does matter. Okay, so he's getting 5 attacks. Last card went to the top. Thinking. If I guard with 30k, that's 1 to pass. So ideally, we want to guard with this. Because looking at my hand, I only need 1 counterblast. Ooh, front trigger. Now I'm not scared because now I'm just going to eat both of the next attacks. I mean, I could probably guard this one. This one has a drive, so I'm not going to guard it. All right, so he actually hit the crit. So that's 2 damage. Heal trigger for me, And crit trigger. Cool. Now that's a 5k guard. Granted, I'm still going to guard with the trigger because we want to keep what's left in our hand, but it's not a big deal. All right. And as you see, he didn't gain that much advantage. So we're going to see if we can really push on this turn. Now, for the umpteenth time, we're going to discard this grade 1. We're going to ride. We're going to call these out. We're not going to use skill because we're going to end up shuffling our deck. Choose up to 1 normal. Okay, yeah, so I'm choosing 0. We're going to call this grade 1, this grade 2, skill, counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Get our dragon tree marker. And search our deck for another copy of Mask of Hydrogram. And shuffle. I'm going to play Mask of Hydrogram. So now we got to check top 5. We whiff. That's fine. We did see a lot of our dragon trees, and we have 2 copies of our mask in hand. And then we're going to use the skill, put this into the soul, persona ride. So Frono is going to gain 10k. We're going to draw. And then we're going to use Solrairon Masques skill, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a normal unit on top of the deck, and we're going to draw. And do I want to do the drive checks here? Just because he doesn't have a whole lot of cards, I'm going to do it. So now we'll remove the 1 from Soul. I should have Soul Blasted that for the cost. Well, no, I didn't have to do the Soul Blast cost yet. So I guess I didn't really do anything wrong. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right, so now we got to go to battle phase. 25 to the Vanguard. All right, I was assuming he was going to guard it. Now we go 33. Skill, retire, countercharge, swing, skill, counterblast, look at top 3. Oops, that's top 1. Top 3. We're going to call. We have a PG in hand, so you know what? I don't even give a shit. Call. And we're going to put the trigger on top. And now these guys have plus 10k on them because of the persona ride. No problem there. First check, critical trigger, all over here. Second check, another critical trigger. I'm going to put it here so that way they have to guard this attack. So we're going to go swing 50, 45 for 3. All right, that's 33. He's just going to take 3. All right. Okay. Right. So I get to pick one of the ones and put, and then get the drive check. So yeah. Well, damn. I'm assuming because he's playing. So here's my problem with playing the OG Solrairon at 4 to be able to get the extra drive check every turn. You're loading your deck with grade 3s. With just 4 and 4 and 2 Mask of Hydrogram, which was the minimum you can probably get away with because you have so many Mass Searchers, you're playing 10 grade 3s. That's 10 cards with no shields. And I don't feel comfortable with that unless you have a deck that really filters. And while this deck does filter pretty good, it doesn't have any way of filtering OG Solrairon. All right, guys, here's another look at the deck. I know that game was super fast and we kind of blew our opponent out off the double crit, but because we thinned the deck so much and we stacked the deck, the chance of hitting multiple triggers with this deck is the highest I've ever seen in a deck. You're filtering every turn. You're stacking the deck off of mass skill. Like it's so nice. And because remember, even when you check the 3 and you call 2 or 1, whatever many you call it, you can bottom deck the rest. So you're still filtering for more triggers. It feels real nice. And I told you guys my reason for only running 1 copy of this. You don't need the extra drive check on the rear guard. It's just cute to have. In that case, we wanted the extra card in hand because our opponent was ahead of us on turns. We were at 3 damage, they were at 2, but then we pushed them straight to 5. Well, they were at 3 when we got the drive check. I kind of hesitated on the drive check there because I honestly forgot about it. I forget about it all the time because I don't really like to use it. I try not to live without it. It's still a 5 attack deck as early as turn 3, and going second, you know, you have the persona where, like, this deck kind of does it all. And I really like that. I just need to see how it does against its bad matchup, which I feel would be a heavy retire deck. But let me know what you guys think of the deck down in the comments. Let me know what techs you guys are trying. Let me know your experiences with it so far. I'm a fan, and it makes me really excited to see what Gandiva is going to do. If you guys want to check me out on social media, those links are down below. If you guys want to see me play some Vanguard live, I stream every Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up will be at noontime, our original start time, Eastern Standard. So make sure you guys come by for that. We will, hopefully Gandiva is getting revealed on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it is. That is it for me, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.